It's now time to look at stories making the headlines this morning. With me in the studios for that are two gentlemen, journalist and social commentator Charles Ideho and Dari Udufo. Gentlemen, thank you for coming this morning. Well, let's head straight to the papers, and I start with the Vanguard. Saka Buhari, declare me winner, Atiku tells tribunal. Lines up 20 signs for 100 witnesses to fight case. Adds our petition solid, strong, unassailable. The Guardian now. Buhari doesn't need NJC to appoint me, says acting CJN. Drama as Onogan accuses federal government of tampering with assets forms. We go to the Punch. Run-ups, the APC, PDP woo voters with money, gifts, lobby other parties. Bauchi Plateau governors visit Buhari over inconclusive polls. And then we head to the Daily Sun. EFCC goes after outgoing governors to prosecute them after May the 29th, probes others. The Nation says anxiety in Benue, Kanu, Bauchi ahead of elections. Buhari to governor seek legal redress. Kanu elders warn against crisis. Row in Bauchi over INEC's stand. Business Day, our final paper this morning. It says Nigeria yields lower on surge in FPI inflows. Let's go to the Punch newspapers, gentlemen, first. And there is this story that might interest you, perhaps. Out-of-school children's parents may face a trial. That's the federal government saying it will try parents who refuse to send their children to school. This is coming on the heels of the number of out-of-school children that is on the rise now. It's an alarming number this time around. Dari, we'll start with you. What do you make of the federal government's statement? Is this how we should address this problem?
Yeah. I'm afraid this is, to me, just another political statement.
Really?
Yeah, just another. Out-of-school children's parents may face trial. How do we begin to try them? First, how do we begin to locate them? Then what will be the allegations or offense we accuse them of committing? In a society where government after government promise us free education. And in the real sense of it, we actually don't have free education. Except in very few states. Very few states.
You think if we have free education, these people will send their children
to school? They will send their children to school. Let's go way back. During the era of the late Chief Obama in the Western region, we had stories of how the government officials were going to farmsteads and villages to tell parents, education is free, we want you to send your children. And people were donating their children, excusing them from farm work to say, okay, you go to school. If we have free education, and it is indeed free, I want to be very sure that more parents that are today indigent and can actually not afford to educate their children will take advantage of that. The thing we need to take care of first is ensure that the statements we make, like we want to give free education, are backed up with action. Free education, what type of schools? When children leave home, in the guise of going to school, to go and sit on the floor, to go and spend the whole day playing without teachers to attend to them, and parents stumble on this and they get discouraged.
Quality of education is another aspect that I would also address. But Charles, would free education really address this problem?
Yes, but to say you want to prosecute the parents who either fail or refuse to send their children, I think it's not an actionable policy. Good policy, but it's not actionable. Because we want to first of all look at what are the factors responsible for this. Is it economic, which is most likely, or is it religion? Is it because religious constitutions are so there? People say, oh, my son will not attend the Western education. Okay, what other alternative are you providing? Apart from that, if you don't empower parents, okay, economically, there's no way they can take care of their children. But I think what we need to do is to let's take the Japanese template. What Japan did in 1914, when Lord Lugard and Flora Shaw were tinkering with what name to call Nigeria at that time, 1914, Japan came up with a policy that has helped them over. What was the policy? Free and compulsory education. And the compulsory a word of it is by emphasis. Oh, free, but compulsory.
Compulsory in what sense?
Compulsory that you must send.
You must.
So if you don't send, you are prosecuted because you know why? What government is free. So they provided all the infrastructure. They ensured that even the parents also got jobs. So they had factories.
But you know we have a challenge when it comes to infrastructure.
Yeah, but then if you have a challenge, then why are you bringing a process? It's not acceptable.
You cannot begin to punish when you are yet to
provide the
enabling environment to ensure that the offense you want to punish is not committed. It's like setting a trap. You have ensured that education is expensive. You have ensured that the quality of your education is low.
Yes.
You have ensured that parents are not economically
engaged or something.
Prepared to send their children to school. You have ensured that all the factors that can aid education are not there. Then you are coming with punishment.
I think the policy...
Saying we will punish you if your children
but
don't
the minister, before you go on, the minister is saying here that government has made some intervention in the past 4 years. That's worth about 350 billion naira.
Let's see the result of those interventions.
What sector? 50 billion naira to do what?
350 billion naira for the education sector.
To do what? To do what?
Intervention.
What are they intervening upon?
I don't even want to question the intervention.
I don't have a problem with that.
The
intervention. Okay, look at.
You see it, then children will
what I'm seeing, another problem there, another challenge is that you don't make such a policy a national policy. What I'm saying, first, there are some states that you have free education. So what about some states that the education is not free? So and the parents can't afford it. You are now going to be chasing them.
This is federal government.
So it's not possible.
Not a state.
No, it's not state. It's federal government. It's the Minister of Education.
So what happens if, for example, free education in Lagos and all the parents I'm saying all the parents took advantage of that and they're in school. And then in far away Taraba, there's no free education. For instance. The parents are poorer than those even in Lagos.
So how is the policy actionable?
Equality is not the same as equity.
Yes.
So you must provide a level playing ground before you can punish across board. So the federal government first need to carry out the task of ensuring that across the country, the issue of free education and quality
at what level
education,
for instance,
particular, and then this will be defined. Oh, we will punish parents whose children don't go to primary schools or second. Are you going to punish parents whose children don't go to an institution?
Okay, for instance, first I benefited from free education. That's why I'm sitting here. In Bende of those days, the UPM
benefited.
Yeah, because UPM Bende
was
free education. What we were paying them was boarding fees. Okay, boarding fees only because I was in the boarding house, but actually I was paying boarding fee for that. But the education was free, tuition free. Then the books up to pencils were given to us free. All you need to do is that when they give all this, when you are leaving, you go sign and they give all the books and pencils free.
But when you look at this number, the number of out-of-school children, what implication does it have on the future? Because children are said to be the leaders of tomorrow.
It's actually worrisome. And in saner climes, we should be clapping for the federal government for coming up with this in saner climes. But our climb is not sane.
In other climes,
it's saner climb.
No, we are still saying. We're still saying.
No.
But in other climes, in other climes.
Because until that era, when we are able to begin to feel that we don't have to do these things, these are no longer applicable in other places. The number of out-of-school children is so alarming, and the implication on our future as a people is worrisome, because if we keep saying the children of today are the leaders of tomorrow, and what are we preparing? We are preparing quacks, illiterates, and half-baked people as our own leaders.
Some are not even big at all.
Some are not. In fact, we didn't even take them near the oven. And that's why I say things that worry other people appear not to worry us. And sincerely, it's a sign of our not being ready to develop like other countries. And it is quite...
Is that what it is for you, Charles?
Say it again?
We're not being ready to develop.
Yeah, we're not, because when we just come up with policies, then we are applauded, okay? Because we want to just sound, these high-sounding policies, as I said, that do not have any bearing with realities on ground. Right. You can't say somebody who for instance, his parents is unable to do that, then you want to now start pursuing them as pursuing tax defaulters?
All right.
It doesn't work that way.
Let's quickly go to the Daily Sun, and where the EFCC says it is ready to clamp down, or rather it is going to clamp down on outgoing governors. It will prosecute them after May the 29th, probes others for vote buying. Ogun OPC one's back against granted. Okay, I wasn't last minute loan request, gentlemen.
Outgoing governors. Glory to God.
Yes.
But the question is, the ones that were pursued after the meeting, what have we found? We're still having even cases where you still have fire share, for instance. You saw.
Oh, fire share is recent.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not looking at it.
Let's look at
what about in 1999, 2003? That's all of them.
Left office in 2007.
So where are we?
Haven't seen anything.
Apart from
Daria.
Apart from Daria, and who was that again? Only
Daria has been sent to jail.
Only that.
But we had about 21 of them accused of one thing or the other.
For how many years now?
They were taken to court 2007. That's the Otunba Gbenga Daniel.
That's about 11, 12 years.
2011 again. Some were accused.
So
we had so many of them. How many of them?
And we are going to add
another
long list.
You see, it's a good thing that we are making efforts to discourage public office holders from dipping their hands into the coffers in manners that are not expected of them. But we need to do more. The EFCC should go beyond this prosecution on the pages of newspapers, which has now got the tag of media trial. These people should be tried. The only way to deter others from doing the same thing when they get into the office is to punish those who have done it. We just, see, it is not because we hate some of these people. It is because we love Nigeria.
Punishing them,
you stole, then you should be punished.
Punishing them to also have
my friend Charles is always talking about being a governor. This morning he repeated it.
Oh.
So when he sees that people are punished, he won't
go there.
And no, he will go there, but he won't go there and steal.
He's only trying to pass a message across the
years. He wants to be a governor.
Yeah, I think, but if I right?
Yes, but don't go there and steal.
But Veronica, what we're looking at is there's always a problem when you have to resort to curative. Preventive measures are better than curative measures.
Because the damage has been done.
Yes, because when you still want to start chasing this outgoing governor, for instance, maybe they stole 1 billion naira. You will need about 1.2 billion or 1.5 billion to pursue 1 billion naira. I mean, who is losing? The economy is losing. So you, instead of going after, I mean, applying a curative measure, you should rather be talking about how to prevent people from stealing. If you make it increasingly difficult for people to steal, you don't need to pursue them after they because the law is they can't even have access to those funds. If they don't have access, then you don't have any problem.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for your contribution on the newspaper review this morning.